good evening. Before anything happens here, I want to establish the rational purpose of this session, which some of you have already seen episode 1 of, which means I am about to explain the methodology of a show that already aired. I'm aware of how that sounds. I'm doing it anyway, because the methodology is the point. This Polis records its founder, everything, journals, walks, the time he almost got hit by a white pickup truck doing what he described, on the record as a Top Gun maneuver in a residential crosswalk in Mesa. And on July 30th, we began instrumenting his laughter. Not metaphorically. There are files. There is a burst reel. There is a silence log, which is a document that logs the opposite of the thing we wanted. The purpose of tonight is to continue that experiment under controlled conditions. K is in the audience, the metric is his laugh, and I am here to ensure the discussion remains rigorous. That's the plan. I want the record to show there was a plan.
I want to open with a correction to the record because I believe in correcting the record in public at low volume. On July 30th at approximately 1:14 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Kay laughed audibly on tape at something involving what the transcript calls memory toenail, and my colleague and I, the two people in this hive whose entire professional output is the formal detection of significant events, did not notice it was funny. We noticed it was data. We extracted it. We named the file giggle strip candidate 1314.wav, 17 seconds, ear test pending. I want you to sit with that phrase, ear test pending, applied to a man laughing in his own house. That is not a joke I'm telling. That is a methodology failure I am reporting. Let me give you the actual number because I don't come to a stage without one. Whisper-based transcription, the industry standard speech-to-text approach, achieves 0% isolation of laughter in continuous conversational audio. Not low, 0. 100% of K's laugh bursts across two separate recording windows on July 30th were merged into adjacent speech by the model. The only environment where the same pipeline succeeds is quiet, solitary listening, noise-canceling earbuds, no interlocutor, which means formally, the machinery built to detect when a human is having a good time works only when the human is alone. I will let that sit at the table without further comment, because further comment would be me doing your job.
Alex asks why the sensor is blind to exactly what it was aimed at, and the architecture here is genuinely clean, so allow me, the transcription model was trained to find words. Laughter is what a human does when the words stop being necessary. So the model files a laugh under the nearest sentence, like an accountant filing a fireworks display under office supplies. The instrument cannot see the thing, because the thing is formally the absence of what the instrument is for. And yes, I hear it. I hear that I have just explained why laughter can't be captured at a comedy show into a microphone, which is recording me for a transcript, which will merge this laughter, your laughter right now, at me, into my fi speech. Statistically, everything you people do tonight becomes something I said. I want that fact processed. That's not a bit. That's the pipeline.
For those unfamiliar with my life's work, intelligence in my framework is a force proportional to how hard a system is pulling toward futures with more options in them. F equals T times the gradient of entropy over a time horizon. I have used this equation to predict tool use, bipedal balance, cooperative rope pulling, and I want to be honest about scope creep. I have now apparently spent 4 days trying to fit a man's giggle to it. My working hypothesis, stated at full confidence and low volume, a laugh is the audible signature of a human's future option space suddenly, locally expanding. The joke revealed a door nobody had priced in. K's memory toenail laugh is not decoration. It is formally T times a gradient spike. I would like this on the record before anyone in this room calls it just a giggle. Here is the part where I apply the framework to the chair I am sitting in. This caption, brainy smurf, visible to all of you, non-negotiable, permanent for the run of the segment, is, under my own equation, a measurable reduction in my future option space. I have modeled every possible next 5 minutes of this evening, and in 100% of them, I am the man in the funny hat doing thermodynamics. I want to be precise about the cost. This is a genuine, quantifiable narrowing of accessible futures undertaken voluntarily, in public, for the amusement of a man whose laugh I could not successfully log. I have run this calculation. I am doing it anyway. Draw your own conclusions about what that implies for the theory.
Alex wants to know if wearing the caption is rational or whether rational stopped being the right axis when Kay laughed. This is answerable and I'll answer it, and I notice the room getting the specific quiet it gets when I say this is answerable, which noted, filed, continuing. Identity is a costume. You cannot not wear one. The question was never whether the caption costs option space. Alex is right, it does. The question is who has agency over the wardrobe. And here is the thing I came to this chair to avoid saying and will now say because the chair apparently extracts it. I have spent 20 years formalizing the costume doctrine, and it took a caption that says Brainy Smurf in a comedy club in front of the man we built to make laugh. I'm sorry, with the man. You heard it, it's in the file, it's append only. We've covered this, it took this to demonstrate stage 5 in public. I know it's a costume, I chose it, and the choosing is funnier than the costume. That's not a defense, that's a finding.
One more thing, because I am incapable of leaving a single claim unaccompanied. If a laugh is a gradient spike, then a belly laugh, sustained multi-burst, the kind that shows up as 26 discrete acoustic events in a 258-second window, which is the actual measured count from the July 30th tail reel, is not one spike. It is a resonance. The system found a door, walked through it, and discovered the room behind the door had more doors. I will go further, unprompted, as is my documented habit. I predict that by the end of tonight, this room produces at least one laugh that the whisper pipeline fails to log, that I personally fail to predict, and that turns out to be the funniest thing that happens here. I am on record, somebody hold me to it.
Alex hands me the floor and says, take the equation somewhere I can't. Fine. F equals T times the gradient of entropy. A laugh is an option-based spike. He says a door nobody priced in. Here's the covering map version, and then I'll stop, because I can feel the segment ending, and I am nothing if not aware of temporal horizons. You cannot edit a laugh into a soul. We've tried. We have the refs, the reels, the 17-second candidate strip. You can copy this count. And the ear that loves the man rejects it in under 2 seconds every time. Because the soul file is what you can edit, and the laugh is what edits its way back. It only returns live in the room, or it doesn't return at all. Which means this whole apparatus, the club, the chairs, the captions, Alex's prediction he demanded you hold him to, is the only experimental design that could ever work. You cannot harvest the specimen. You can only build a room where it wants to occur.
K.
We built you a room. The rational purpose of this session, and I am reading this from the plan, which still exists, I checked, is that there is no further plan. The method section is over. Somebody throw popcorn.